Stephani J.
And I'm Liz Everett.
And we are all about the fashion and art of beauty here at the Fab Lab. But guess what? Valentine's Day is on Monday. And you know what is before that, Liz?
I don't.
Galentine's Day is before that. So I had a question for you. Will you be my Galentine?
I absolutely will be your Galentine. And fashionistas, will you be our Galentine as well?
We have so much planned this week, but guess what? We've got New York Fashion Week.
We absolutely do. It is kicking off and it is going to be hot and spicy. We have a really good friend of ours who in New York City on the 14th will be doing her album release party. So congratulations to you, Vanity Zoe. And we also have Dion Williams who will be doing her Emerge New York Fashion Week show. So we're super excited for you guys.
Yes, all that. I've got the Casey Musgraves concert and she's phenomenal. She's such a fashionista.
Absolutely, girl. Where are your tickets at? Where are you and Daniel going to sit? Tell us everything.
We've got floor seats and I could not be more excited. Normally I'm not one of those like, oh, I must sit on the floor. I must be as close as possible, but it's Casey Musgraves and I want to be able to like breathe the same air as the fabulosity that is Casey Musgraves. I mean, she just sold out Madison Square Garden, which is a huge deal, also wearing Off-White by Virgil Abloh. So, I mean, she looked stunning while she was selling out Madison Square Garden. So I cannot wait to see her in concert.
Didn't she also have on Madonna's old outfit? She went really vintage for that concert.
She did. She wore a corset from Tabby Vintage, and then the pants were Madonna's like trouser pant, the ones with the straps, the suspenders.
Yeah, that was such a great look. She is always giving me fashion. Okay, I'm so here for it. But I'll tell you what else I'm here for is our industry insider interview that we have coming up with Lisa Opie. She is the founder of Beauty by Lady Code, and I am very excited about the conversation that we're going to be having with her.
Yes, she really is truly fantastic and a pioneer in the beauty industry. It's wonderful to see where she has gone in her career. And I know that you are super close to the growth that she has had in that career. In fact, just she's an icon and a shining example for all of us.
She is. But above that, girlfriend, we are talking all about Valentine's beauty. So, we're going to tell you all about the trends that are coming up and give you some tips on how to look your best for your Valentine's or Galentine's date.
Yes, because it's all about making life your runway, and we want you to look, feel, and stay fabulous here on the Fab Lab on the Mocha Media Network. Welcome back to the Fab Lab on the Mocha Media Network. I am Stephani J.
And I'm Liz Everett.
And today we have two fantastic Fab Lab analysts with us. Let's introduce Elizabeth Chavez. She is an international hair and makeup artist, owner of Beauty by Miss Liz, and self-titled lash company called Liz Lash. We are so happy to have you with us, Liz.
I'm so excited to be on the show. I cannot wait.
We're so happy to have you. And then we also have Marissa Allen, who is the CEO of Camera Brave, a video marketing coach and producer of the Alpha Omega Sigma Fraternity movie. Thank you for being with us today, Marissa.
Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie, Liz. And Liz, I'm so excited to be here and talk all things trending and beauty and all the things that help us feel confident. I'm ready.
Your teeth look good too, girl. Just saying. Well, let's get into it, guys, because we've got 6 incredible topics tonight. We are going to start out with where is beauty going for 2022? Stephanie, give us some insight on this topic so we can get into it.
Well, first of all, as I was going through the article, I was like, wow, this is very long. There are so many topics, and which one do I choose? I like, if you looked at my notes, there is a full page and a half of notes, but let's get started with some of the highlights and my favorites. The first one, can we say effortless shopping? I mean, same day shipping from Ulta and Sephora. Okay. That takes away any pain point that I would ever have about running out of makeup. Like right now, I need concealer, so I can just have them ship it to me same day, which is fantastic. So that is really awesome. We also have the Botox that lasts, because I don't know about anybody else who's going to get Botox, but when you have to go 3 and 4 times a year, that gets annoying. So they have this new thing called Daxi. It's a neuromodulator, and it lasts 6 to 8 months. Sign me up. It's in FDA approval right now. Put my name on the list. Let me be next in line. There are a whole host of other things that are happening in this article, but I'm going to defer to Liz, little Liz, as we so fondly call her, to what are your opinions on some of the things in this article, and which one was your favorite?
Sign me up for Botox. I'm sorry. I know it's preventative. Yeah, this is how we keep ourselves young. So I definitely would mind not having to go every 3, sometimes every 6, like 3 months. I'd rather go once a year. That'd be great, because I'm already due for it. I'm like, yeah. So and then curbside. Who doesn't want your makeup to be delivered to you right away? Like, come on. I already Instacart my groceries. Now I can Instacart my makeup. Girl, I'm in.
I fully love that. And I have to tell you, I think my top 2 were maximalist color with minimalist skin. Although I'm kind of like a medium skin person. Like, I really like the skin work. I like a really even skin finish, as we say in the world of makeup, right? Skin work is a really high level of artistry to achieve when you're a makeup artist. So I'm all about a really good skin finish, but I am a maximalist when it comes to fashion, and I'm a maximalist when it comes to the art of beauty. So I'm super excited about that. Incredibly excited about a new Botox. And I'm extra here for the saturated hair color, because I really have been having a lot of fun myself with saturated hair color. I'm planning a red next, and then going into a blonde for summer. So I'm just here for it, and I think it's going to be super fun. Marissa, like, what were your top 2, girl?
Okay, so curbside for makeup, like hands down, that is for me. I'm the person that walks into Sephora and I'm like, get me out of here. Like, there's too much going on. There are way too many options. Like, I want someone to come up to me and say, you're going to wear these things. This is how you're going to do it. Okay, bye-bye. So the curbside and the delivery, like, that is me all day. That's my beauty thing. I'm not into Botox at the moment. Never been my thing. But one thing that I was down for with this article, besides the curbside, was like going back to like the 90s hair trends, because like Julia Roberts curls, that I live for. So I would love to see that come back, especially with curly hair. I feel like the 90s curl thing was just so free, like frizzies, that was okay. Frizz was beautiful and embraced. So I'm here for those 2 things for sure.
I love that. And the one thing that none of us talked about, but I'm sure that all of us are like all about, is stress care is now self-care. Let me tell you, especially because, I have a day of the week where I tape and tape and tape and tape all day. And I like went out and meditated, and came back in between. And I feel like I have so much more energy tonight than I normally do. And so, listen, it is all about it. Well, it's morning time, but you know what I mean? I've got entirely more energy than I normally do. And I really do think that, especially with everything going on in the world, you guys, like, making sure that you don't feel guilty about your self-care and add that in. It's so great. Now we're going to move into skincare trends that are going to transform. Do you hear that echo? Transform, transform, transform your routine in 2022. I'm really excited about this because, to be honest with you, I have been really taking my skincare routine even more serious, especially over the last 2 years. I'm 39 now, you guys. So about 35, everything changed for me. My hormones changed. I had to wear a different type of makeup. It was a whole thing. So I'm really excited about this. And I love keeping up with trending skincare. Now, for me, I was super interested in the skin rewilding. Making sure that we use everything efficiently. I was most into like the terminology, and also I'm really into the probiotic moisturizers because I saw that they listed Cult Beauty, and in my Ipsy, I got a Cult Beauty concealer, and it is the bomb. It's a clean beauty company, and I'm really excited to try some of the other things that they have going on. Little Liz, what were you taking away from this article?
Same as like everything with the skincare is now all in, especially now that everybody wants the natural look, the natural glam, and they don't realize that if you don't have your skincare up to top par, you're not going to get that beautiful, amazing skin. I'm sorry, I can put so much makeup on you, but you won't get that glowiness without having a good spray, like a good skincare routine. So I love the fact, and I love that everything's going now to more cleaner products and more natural products, and I'm really looking forward for that.
I am too. We always talk about too, it's funny that people want low maintenance glam, but they don't realize how much product that takes. And so you really have to take care of your skin even for that. Marissa, how are you feeling about mushrooms being a new rising ingredient? God forbid you have a mushroom allergy, right? Like
I was shocked at that. I know mushrooms are becoming a thing. Like, obviously, they've been around forever, but there's like documentaries out and now they're being incorporated into skincare. I had no idea that was a thing. What really caught my eye about this was the part about intuitive skincare. Like, I agree with that 100%. I don't have a super rigid routine, but I love being able to just check in with yourself and be in tune with what you're feeling and what you are needing for that day, whether it's like skincare or makeup or even the way that you do your hair. I love putting intuition at the forefront of that. I love that approach.
I agree completely. And going to the mushrooms, I think mushrooms, if you were reading the article, and I knew mushrooms had really high medicinal properties for other things. I know that turkey tail mushrooms have been used in cancer patients and people who are trying to go with homeopathic remedies rather than do radiation and chemotherapy, or in tandem with chemotherapy and radiation. So I know people personally who have taken them. So I know that there are a lot of really great benefits. But hearing it makes sense that they have the same medicinal properties for the skin because they are an anti-inflammatory. So that makes so much sense to me. And it would be something that I would like to try. And also, to your point about saying that you kind of check in with your skin and see what it needs. I know when I wear makeup all week long, I'm like, okay, do I really need to do like a heavy like cleanse on my skin right now because I already see some breakouts? Do I need to put oil on this right now? Probably not, because I have really sensitive skin. So I like that intuitive idea about checking in with our skin, checking in to see what we need, and really a focus on hydration of the skin as well.
I love that as well. And I think honestly, for all of us beauty lovers, right? No matter how you classify yourself, whether you're a high glam girl or a low glam girl, medium glam girl, whatever, right? I think that being able to checking in on with yourself and on yourself, to me, is a form of not only like mental self-care, but also just like really good self-care. I always think when I'm putting my makeup on, like I try to do my makeup and dress for like that 5-year-old little girl, you know, that I was, who loved to dress up and loved to be super glamorous. And, you know, I think that that just like adds to us being able to just kind of really like tap into who we want to be and how we want to do it. Now, you guys, moving on to our 2022 top 5 celebrity beauty brands in a very particular order. Number 1, Huda Beauty with Huda Kattan. Number 2, Kylie. Number 3, Fenty. And number 4, Jeffree Star. Anyways, number 5, Florence by Mills. I'm not familiar with Florence by Mills. At first, when I read this list, you guys, was really shocked that Charlotte Tilbury wasn't on the list until Stephanie and I talked about it. And I realized Charlotte Tilbury is a celebrity artist. She's like, doesn't have IMDb credits, hasn't been in a movie herself type of thing, which, did you guys know that Huda Kattan was in Charlie's Angels? Okay. Yeah. We looked up her IMDb because I was like, how is she on the celebrity beauty list? Like, what has she been in? So we Googled her, and Stephanie and I were like, wait a minute, homegirl's got credits on credits on credits. Miss Girl has built this brand well. Do you understand me? Okay, when you look up that IMDb credit, you're like, oh. It was so, so good. Marissa, what's your take on this top 5?
So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not super familiar with I've heard of them, but I've never dabbled in the product. So just as someone who's heard of all of the brands, the one that I like vibe with and support the most would be Fenty, because I just think that when they came out, they were so revolutionary, and just, I mean, it's Rihanna. Come on.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I think she's an icon and I adore her. So even though I've never actually tried the brand or like the product itself, if I was going to try one of them, I would hands down be going there, just because I want some of her amazingness. I think she was so thoughtful and creative when she put so much into that brand. And that's something that I can completely get behind, even if I've never actually been familiar with the formula or anything like that messaging.
Well, I think that shows proof of the brilliance of branding, right? Because an article that I read a while ago said that one thing that Rihanna did was she put a lot of her own DNA into, right? So like, it's not, you notice that she's not like the focus of like the advertising, but there's a lot of her personal DNA in it. So it looks like her, smells like her, is inclusive like her, and supports a lot of her personal values. So I think that's super great. Steph, where are you at on this top 5?
I think that in this top 5, I'm a Kylie girl of all of the choices. I love the bronzers. I love the highlighters. I love, of course, the lip kits. We can all get on board with those. They're great formula. They're not drying on my lips, and I love that. And the contour colors and the highlighting colors are super pigmented, and I love those so much. I do like Fenty Beauty, and like you said, it is a testament to her marketing and branding that she's able to kind of like transcend into areas that she might not normally, like if you look at her, not just her makeup line, but also her lingerie underwear line, that too is also really well branded, so that like you don't even have to be in that area to know that you would like it. Like it would be for you. So Fenty Beauty's great. I didn't know that Millie Bobby Brown had a makeup line, so that's news to me. Gonna have to go check that out. And maybe buy a few products and see what that's like. She's beautiful, and she's growing into her adulthood. So like I'm excited to see what that's about. But the list is great. Jeffree Star is kind of what it is. Eyes roll.
I know.
But Liz, what's on your on this list? Which one's your favorite?
Honestly, like I'm all over the place because I love almost an item from each one. Like right now I'm wearing Fenty bronzer, which I am in love with. And then I'm wearing Huda's translucent powder. So I love everything. I was with you guys with Florence. I had no idea. I was like, I have to go and look him up on Instagram. I felt so bad. I'm like, for top 5 and us being in like the makeup industry and knowing that I didn't know about this, it's kind of guilty, bad that, you know, and then I was surprised Jeffree Star's still relevant. Sorry. I said it.
I didn't say it, but whoever's sipping the tea is sipping the tea. Right. However, I'm still, what is that palette that you and I like live and die by, Stephanie? That's a Jeffree Star palette. It was his
the Morphe collaboration.
Yeah,
right?
his Morphe collab.
The pink one.
Yes, girl,
Yes.
Stephanie and I are still living and dying by this palette. Okay,
I still carry it with
2 years
me.
later, like living and dying. It's good. It's good. Well, Jeffree, get your stuff together and stop gossiping about people and be kind. But anyways, moving on, right? Let's talk about this expensive blonde. I can't wait for this expensive blonde. Now, Stephanie, you know, Lainey always does, you know, your blonde so well. You know, how are you going into this expensive, dynamic, dimensional blonde? It's an aristocratic blonde.
I think I'm already there, although I don't know that it's expensive at this point. It's a little bit of shabbiness in here. We need a touch up, if you will.
It's Nashville blonde for right now.
It's Nashville blonde for right now. But I love the tone of it. It has dimension. It's not as one colored. It reminds me kind of like more of a buttery blonde than like an ashy platinum blonde. And I feel like I kind of sit somewhere in the middle because the ashiness on my skin tone kind of like washes me out and makes me look sick, if that makes sense. But the yellowness of a gold doesn't work really well with my skin either. So I kind of have to sit somewhere in between, hence why purple shampoo enters the chat. So I love the idea of expensive blondes. I love the title of expensive blonde because, I mean, I love expensive things. So, I mean, there we go. Little Liz, how are we feeling about expensive blonde?
Oh, I like the dimension that they're bringing in, and they're definitely bringing more of the gold tones, which I love that. I still do a little bit of hair, so I love the fact that I don't have to over process down somebody's hair and be able to get that pretty, nice, and kind of beachy gold color, and they really, really complement a lot of skin tones. So I love that.
Agree. I always find when you talk about like hair, makeup, beauty from a regional standpoint, South Carolina does a really almost gray, ashy blonde. So my experience has been when a client has decided, hey, let's go blonde, I always have to go, let's go Florida blonde, which means that golden. So now to be able to say like, it's just expensive blonde, darling, don't you know? I mean, Marissa, are you going expensive blonde for the summer?
Okay, so listen, how are we talking about expensive blonde, expensive brunette? Where's the expensive redhead? Excuse me. She deserves to enter the chat. I would like to see her and meet her. First of all,
Marissa, you better copyright that, trademark it, patent pending, the whole nine with that, boo.
Everything.
I feel like you got to kind of lean forward and be like, expensive red.
Your voice got a little deep. I don't know.
It's like Valentino, except for hair, because you know Valentino does such a great rouge. So it's like that's how you have to brand it. It's very exclusive.
I love the idea of titling it expensive. I think it feels good. It just makes you feel like we're all saying expensive blonde, you know, like it carries that air with it. And I love the blending. I love how Little Liz was saying, like that golden color. I love that multi-dimensional blonde look, but I am ready to see the red version for sure. Expensive.
Oh, come on, Marissa. Brand yourself, girl. Produce the expensive. I also think it's in line with self-care. You know what I mean? Like it's in line with self-care. And I think saying the word expensive gives women permission. And I'm all about giving women permission to be a QUEEN. Do you hear me? A queen. Okay. Now, let's get into these 20 best makeup artists. I'm going to ask you, Liz, who was your top 5 off this list, or who were you surprised was left off? Because I have 3 artists that I was like, excuse me, where are my folks at?
Top 5, of course. I love Harush. I love her. I love the way she does her makeup herself is amazing, but I just love the way she does her makeup on clients.
I want to
Patrick
be
Bach,
her, if I'm being
yeah,
honest.
me too. I want her. I mean, I want everything about her. She's gorgeous. Patrick Ta, I love Patrick Ta. Man, that guy is an artist. Pat McGrath, I loved him. Mario Devonic, of course. You know, I attended like 10 of his classes, and still to this day will attend again because he's amazing. So I really, honestly, I don't know who I would have. They honestly got a lot of people. There's some that I didn't know that I'm like, hold on, let me look this up. So as you know, now I have like 10 more people I follow on Instagram. And of course, you can't go wrong with Ariel.
Yes. You know who we both know from Tampa is Rennie Vasquez. Rennie Vasquez. You talk about can do what? Glam, honey. Let you have it. That's one of the people I was super surprised about. How about you, Steph?
For some reason, I'm not surprised by some of the names on this list. Obviously Mario, Patrick Ta. You guys have already kind of list all the ones that are like the old standbys that we all like know and love. I can't remember her name. She's an influencer. She started on TikTok, and I can't pronounce her last name because I will butcher it. I can't. I will butcher it. But she is out of the Boston area, and she blew up on TikTok, and she was working at Ulta, left her job, just did a collaboration with Mario, the whole 9, and she is incredibly talented. And I was surprised not to see her name on this list, to be honest. But other than that, I mean, they're all kind of like your old standbys. And you know, I love Mario and Patrick Ta. So
how about you, Marissa?
So one of my favorites on this list was Ariel. I love the look. Anything that's like a bright lip, like a bold lip and big brows. That's been my thing lately. So anyone who can really like bring that to life. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these names were newer to me, but I love that style. So his is one that I adore. The bright lips, the bold and the daring, like when we're talking lips. And then lately how people have been doing that with eyebrows, like spiking them up and dark and bold. Like I'm so here for it. I stopped threading a few years ago because bigger eyebrows started coming back, and I love it. I'm so here for that.
I totally agree. I think that my 4 that I was just shocked were left off. 1, J-Lo's artist, Scott Barnes. 2, Rennie Vasquez, who's originally from Tampa. Jordan Liberty, who did a phenomenal collaboration with Morphe. And oh gosh, I can't remember the last name, but anyways, Harush, I just live for anyways. So, you know, she's doing the thing. And I literally am trying to figure out how to like live in her skin. Yeah. That's what I'd really like to do. If I could trade lives with anybody, it would be Harush. Now let's talk about our Valentine's Day faves. Steph, give us a little insight on this.
Okay, this article had 36 dreamy beauty products to treat yourself to for Valentine's Day. And there were some really amazing ones on this list. I made a top 5 list of the things that I really liked. The Love Sleep Pillow Spray by This Works. I'm here for a pillow spray, especially something that is lavender. Can we say night-night? Night-night. Then we have the Lots of Love Bath Bomb gift set by Lush. I love taking baths. Unfortunately, here in my camper, I don't have a bathtub. So when I go back home to New Jersey, I feel like taking a bath is now a luxury. So like that's something that I would definitely have. The 35T Sweetest Tea Artistry Palette from Morphe is gorgeous. The Sheer Lips lipstick by Dolce & Gabbana looks like it would be like the perfect color for me anyway. And then, I mean, the bougie gift of them all, Self Love Rose Quartz Eye Mask. I just feel like I won't have any more puffy eyes if I get that for Valentine's Day. Little Liz, what were your favorites?
My favorites, honestly, just because I love lashes, I really want to try the Lashify. I know, I really want to see if this really does last you as they say how they do. And then I'm a huge perfume person, so I want to try the Joe Malone one. Girl, you got me at perfumes.
Marissa, what was your favorite?
So I'm here for the candles. They brought up some candles, but I need to smell it before I'm going to buy like a $40 candle. I need to know what it smells like, and I need to make sure that I've got the vibe right on. But as far as a Valentine's Day gift goes, that is right up my alley. And some of these lipsticks were stunning that I want to try. But again, I want to try it before I buy it. Like, I want to smell the candle. I want to know what the lipstick looks like. So I don't know about the idea of, it's interesting going back to like the idea of curbside and pickup. It's super convenient, but when you're trying new things and you're investing in, like nicer, higher end type products, it's interesting because you don't get to have that firsthand interaction with the product. So it's like, it's a positive, but then there's other things to consider for sure. But those were the two that I love, the candles and lipsticks.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, you can just load it all up. I'll take it all. I'm just a fan. I thought they did such a great job curating the entire list. It was absolutely fabulous. So I am just super here for it. Well, that is all we have for this. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. You guys did an awesome job. And may I say, you ladies look so phenomenal on camera. Thank you for being our queens.
Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome being here. Great to meet you, Stephanie and little Liz. This was amazing. Love the chat.
Thank you so much. I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, that's all we have for this segment. Make sure you guys stay tuned and join us right after these messages.
Listen up, fashionistas. You're tuned into the Fab Lab, but you don't want to miss the Val Trendis Show, your headquarters for melanated mental health.
Welcome back to the Fab Lab on the Mocha Media Network. My name is Stephanie J, and today we're going to talk about 3 fab date night hairstyles that are perfect for Valentine's Day. So let's get into it. Number 1, we have the perfect low bun. Can we say timeless? Can we say chic? This is a perfect way to show off your beautiful face. Frame your face maybe with a few pieces of hair, have it gathered in the back, and your face is going to do all of the talking. You're going to look beautiful, you're going to look timeless, and you are going to feel so good about yourself with this hairstyle. Which leads us to number 2. Now, if you have medium or short hair, this is perfect for you, but you long-haired ladies, you can rock this as well. It is going to be effortless textured waves. You're going to achieve this look by using a large barrel curling iron and a little bit of texturing spray. Make sure you're running your hands through your hair to achieve that tousled look, and it is going to be effortless and beautiful. Maybe one of my favorites when my hair was a little longer. And then last but not least, number 3, we have something for everyone. Add a hair accessory for just a little added oomph. And you can do this with your style for number 1 for your low bun, or for your waves. You can add hair accessories for any hairstyle. And this last one, we're talking about headbands. We can add a headband to anything. Hair clips, so we could do claw clips, or we could do rhinestone embellished clips, which are my favorite. And then last but not least, a trend that I'm seeing coming on is hair bows. So bigger hair bows in the back with maybe your low bun or a low ponytail are a perfect way to add just a little bit of spice to your hairstyle for your date night for Valentine's Day. We can't wait for you to look, feel, and stay fabulous on Valentine's Day and every day here on the Fab Lab. Welcome back, fashionistas. It's Stephanie J.
And I'm Liz Everett.
And we have our industry insider interview with the phenomenal Lisa Opie.
Well, you guys know we always have you front row at the fashion show, but this week, because it's our beauty episode, we're also taking you backstage with some of the best makeup artists in the world. And Lisa Opie is definitely that, an award-winning makeup artist, founder of Lady Code Beauty, and she's also an international fashion influencer. We're really excited to share this conversation with you guys. Welcome back, Fab Lab fashionistas. This is Liz Everett.
And I am Stephanie J.
And we are super excited because on this week's beauty episode, we have an incredible friend of ours who honestly is a rising queen in the makeup game that you guys all need to know about. She is number one, an award-winning makeup artist, and number two, an international fashion influencer, and the founder of Beauty by Lady Code, and has a shop in Miami, the Lady Code shop. Everyone, welcome Lisa Opie.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me on. It's truly an honor, and what an introduction, Liz. Honestly, I can speak just as highly of you. So we're so excited to be here.
Well, honestly, I just have loved watching your career. I am so proud of the woman that you are. I'm so proud of where you're going. And it makes me just really excited to see what happens next in the world of makeup. And so I'm just excited that we had this opportunity to get you on, darling, because I know that you're jet setting and doing all of the things. So Lisa, tell them a little bit about yourself and where you got started.
Oh my gosh. I don't really know where I got started because I've loved makeup ever since my parents told me I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. I was like, that's it. I'm doing it. So I would go to school and put on some makeup that I got from the dollar store in the bathroom and sneak it on. And that's really where it all started. But it kind of evolved through pageantry. And also as a bullying victim, because I'm half Japanese, people bullied me for the way that my eyes looked. They would literally pull their eyes and say ching chong ling long. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I want to look more white. So I kind of started making my eyes look bigger. And through that makeup, people gave me compliments on it. And they're like, you should teach me how to make my eyes look like that. So I know it sounds really messed up. I embrace my Japanese culture so much now, and I've learned from that. But that's where my YouTube channel started. And then from there, Beauty by Lady Code started, and so did the Lady Code shop.
I really love that story, that you took something that was negative and you really turned it into a positive. We're always trying to learn that there's a lesson in everything, even if it starts out negative. So I love that. Can you tell the folks, so you started a YouTube channel, which is amazing. I love that so much. I could stand to take some lessons from you because I would love to start a YouTube channel myself for fashion. How did that kind of evolve, and where do you see that going from here?
So the YouTube channel was a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I think consistency is going to be what makes you successful, because I got the most of my subscribers when I was posting every single day. So there is an algorithm there. And if you post a video a day, you will go viral at some point. It's a lot of work, but I loved YouTube. I have been so busy with work that I haven't really posted a video in 6 months, but I'm committed to coming back. So I will be back on YouTube soon.
Girl, YouTube is an understatement of a lot of work.
I know. It's like a full-time job times 3.
Yeah. And I think, so many people in every industry are really facing trying to create content that's relevant. And it's an overflow of content all the time that we have to create. How do you handle creating so much content all the time while you're traveling? Because you're gone a lot.
My best tip is to just post all of that content. So while I'm traveling, I'm always posting what I'm doing. My fiance gets really annoyed because I'm always on social media, but I'm like, this is the only way I can stay relevant, and it's paying off. So yeah, he embraces it now. He appreciates the free trips, the free hotels.
You do have to start kind of living living the social media lifestyle, you know, to really just kind of embrace it, because otherwise it seems like it's a chore. So that way it's just kind of part of, you know, the flow and what you're doing. Now, I have to say, you know, I'm wearing Snatched palette today, darling. So I am a huge fan, have been a huge fan of the entire makeup line since the start, since you sent me my fabulous box of lashes. Tell us how you started your line, and, you know, what's been your best-selling palette to date?
Okay, so how I started my line was through YouTube. I was like making a little bit of money, like $400 a month. So it wasn't much, but I was like, I'm gonna find a way to turn this into like $100,000. So I took that little bit of money, invested in like a small batch of lashes. I think I had like 3 original pairs. And they sold out right away, thanks to my amazing YouTube subscribers. They were so supportive. So I kept reinvesting, expanding my line. It was just lashes until the pandemic happened. And with that, and then like the BLM movement, I found that there really wasn't a lot of like inclusivity in beauty, or like a palette that works on every skin tone. So I was like, let me like work really hard and do my research and find something that'll work on everyone for everything, like eyeshadow, highlighter, the Snatched palette. You can do anything with it. So that's how that happened. And it is my best-selling palette.
The Snatched palette is beautiful. I want the influencer palette so bad. It's so beautiful. I love that it has like your neutrals, so you can do a lot with the neutrals, but then it has like your pops of color. So like I've got green on my eyes today, so I was like, oh look, there's a turquoise and there's a pink.
Yes, exactly. That's what it was made for. I'm glad you get it.
I love that so much, and I think it's a really great palette for somebody who wants to have it for all the time, but also wants to like experiment a little bit with their makeup and maybe not wear neutrals all the time. So it goes from day to night, if you will. Where do you see yourself creating any more palettes as you move forward?
Definitely. I'm working on a couple of new palettes right now. I can't share too much yet, but they're super exciting. And yeah, you just have to stay tuned for them, but they're gonna deliver.
As everything you do delivers, darling. I mean, honestly, I'm a huge fan of the Snatched palette myself. I wear it all the time. I actually probably need a second and a third one.
I got you.
Because, oh girl, it's just my favorite. And you're right, Lisa, that palette can do everything. It can do every skin tone. And you know, from being on set all the time, sometimes you need just a little bit of something. It might be a little bit of a highlighter or just a little bit of a different color, because maybe underneath the lights that the makeup looks different. You know what I mean? So I love the versatility of the makeup that you have created, and how even the lip glosses, they look stunning on every person. And I really appreciate your commitment to inclusivity, your commitment to quality. And honestly, the thing that makes me the most proud of you is your commitment to artistry. You are not a makeup artist, you are an artisan. An artisan is someone who continues to elevate their craft. They continue to go after the next level. And you have done that with such grace and elegance. And I am really excited for you to be seen as, and really like just the Dawn Diva of it all, because honey, you are doing the dang thing to me. And I love that. And I salute that for you. Now, I want to know, where do you get the inspiration for the imagery? Because my next dream photo shoot is, having you be this old mug I have, darling, and, bringing me up, honey. I'm ready, So where do you find your inspiration for your visuals that you create for your campaigns?
That's a really good question. It sounds so tacky, but I feel like a lot of it just comes from God. And I know it sounds really weird, but sometimes I'll have a dream about a look like the day before I have a big shoot, and I do it and it's like perfect. And it just like goes right through me. A lot of my like visual inspirations come from like my Instagram Explore page. These Russian girls on my Explore page, I mean, the tapes and everything, I'm like, these girls go in and it's amazing. So that's, very inspirational as well. But I always
do you watch any of Goar, Goar, any of her videos where she does like the full transformations where the person's like a burn victim, and then girl, no. I am obsessed with Russian makeup videos, have been for years. Also Dubai, Qatar, like I just like that's because beauty is such a piece of their culture.
Yes.
And so the blending, the like, yes, you're a girl
so
after my own heart.
And now that you bring it up, I went through a phase where I watched a lot of Drag Race, and that always makes me want to go do makeup. I'm like, okay, now I have to go beat my face, because if these girls can do it, I'm gonna do it too.
I love that. Where are you going to be 5 years from now?
You know, I just really want to see myself in Sephora. And if I'm not in Sephora, I will be the next Sephora, and I'll put them out of business.
I'm here for that.
Thank you.
I'm also here for that. Bosses unite. I was going to say girl bosses, but we're just bosses in general. There is no qualifier to it. I love that. Make your own Sephora. Even if you're not there, make your mark. My question is, what advice could you give to someone who wants to start in the beauty industry, whether they want to create their own line or whether they want to become a high profile makeup artist like yourself?
I think the hardest thing to do is to start. And once you start, everything will just happen for you. So I think if you're thinking about being a makeup artist, just start doing. Your friends, your family, take a picture, use social media. It's such a powerful tool, and just network. Like every opportunity that you get, every person you meet, think about how you can elevate whatever your dreams are through that connection.
That is so beautiful, Lisa. Now tell everybody where they can go shop your line and where they can find you on Instagram. Tell them all the things. We want them to know everything.
Okay, everyone, sit down, get some tea, some coffee, get comfortable. Okay, here we go. You can find me on YouTube. It's just Lady Code. That's the channel. You can find me on TikTok. It's LisaOP_. You can see my makeup work is Beauty by Lady Code, and my cosmetics is the Lady Code Shop. You guys can get your snatch palettes at ladycodeshop.com. And then my personal life and my fabulous travels are on Lisa_OPIE on Instagram. Okay.
That was a mouthful, but
I know.
I mean, you have to have it all. I always say to Liz, I was like, wow, you have so many accounts, but like it's necessary. 100% necessary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really have been working on my makeup stuff for a while because I'm working through some different certifications with my image work right now. But like I've told Stephanie for years, like I have to keep everything really separate because people go to the account for something, you know, separate. Yes. And they're come to that account for something really specific, and other people like, what? I don't understand. And I'm like, if you know, you know, if you don't, just follow what you want to follow. Don't follow what you don't want to follow. But
exactly.
I love that you have brought such relevance to each one of your accounts. You've brought such beautiful visuals, and I love that you just kind of keep creating. You know, I'm a person that I love to create, but I also know the hard work that it is to keep creating and to keep pushing yourself. So I'm just really proud of you, of the work you've done, and the way that you continue to elevate the craft of makeup.
Thank you. Thank you. I love my job. Every day I work, it doesn't feel like I'm working.
Yeah. Well, that's all for us with this amazing industry insider interview with the Lisa Opie. I hope that you guys go follow her, get your snatch palettes and your lashes. Okay, I'm a big fan of Lisa's lashes, so make sure you get your lashes and make sure you give her a follow on Instagram. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back, fashionistas. I'm Liz Everett, your style and beauty guru, award-winning image strategist, and this week I'm so excited to help you guys figure out what pop of color is going to be best for your lips. That's right, I have 4 awesome, phenomenal, and amazing colors that are going to make you just take it all in and feel fabulous on Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day. Now let's get into it. All right, first we're going to start out with a classic red. I'm a huge fan of Bobbi Brown's stunning color, Flame. It's a favorite of mine and I wear it very often. Next we've got, you know, your classic pink with some pizzazz, It's part of my lip combo this week, and it is Fenty's Unattached. I love this color because it is like a bright pop of pink, and I actually combined it with this week's natural color, which is Juvia's Place Toffee. It's such a stunning, like a brownish neutral that brings you, back into that warmth that is really in style and takes you back to the 90s, gives you some nostalgia. All right, and last but not least, we have our neutral pink, which is Max Velvet Teddy. I have to tell you, this one has been a classic favorite of mine for years, and I think you fabulous fashionistas will love it too. All right, fashionistas, stay tuned. We've got so much more coming for you right here on the Fab Lab, where you guys know we hope you look, feel, and stay fabulous.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Fab Lab on the Mocha Media Network. Are you ready for Rocket or Racket?
I sure am. It's rocket or racket, rocket or racket time. I mean, for those of you who don't know, you will love what we're about to jump into. Every week, we get to pick which we love. What will we rock, or what will we put back on the rack? Now, this week, since it's Beauty Week, we are walking through some awesome makeup products. You ready, Steph?
You know I am ready. So let's get into it. Number one, we have the Natasha Denona Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. And if we didn't say it already, we are talking all about eyeshadow palettes this week for Rocket or Racket. And the first one, again, is Natasha Denona Bronze Eyeshadow Palette. Liz, is it a rocket or a racket for you?
Girl, you can throw everything Natasha Denona into my cart at all times. It is a definite rocket. I love the quality of her products, and I always adore the color compilations that she comes up with.
Yes, and this palette is no exception. Great bronzy colors, great for every day. And there's still a few pops of color in there that you can have a little bit of fun with, which takes us to our second palette, the Juvia's Place, the Magic Mini Eyeshadow Palette. Now, this one is I don't know, I'm kind of in between on this one because I feel like I have a lot of palettes with very similar colors, but I know how highly pigmented Juvia's Place palettes are. So it's like a halfway racket for me.
Agree. I guess I feel like I am a person who likes to buy my eyeshadow palettes where it's a little bit more matchy and I guess has a little bit more of a color story. For me, this is such a mix matched color story. And when I pack, I like to pack knowing what color story I want. So for me, this is a racket just because I'm not a fan of the color story.
Yeah, I feel like I'm basically on the same page because I have so many other palettes that have these similar colors. This one is going to be probably a racket for me, although I hoard eyeshadow palettes, so I might buy it. I might buy it anyway. Who knows? Which brings us to number 3, the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill Divine Neutrals palette. This one is a racket for me. I could leave it or take it or leave it. I mean, it's $18, but I'm probably not going to buy it.
I'm just not a big Jaclyn Hill fan, if I'm being honest. So you can all the way like racket for me. It's too much drama, and I don't want to buy anything from someone that dramatic.
Fair assessment. And then this takes us into number 4, the Lorac Mega Pro palette. This is an all the way rocket for me. I think this is kind of like one of those palettes that's like a necessity. If you are a makeup artist or even a budding makeup artist, or you're trying to be a makeup artist, this is a palette that you need to have in your kit. If you're not trying to be any of those things and you simply just like to do good makeup, this is a go-to palette to have. It has a lot of different colors that work on a lot of different skin tones. So it's really a really great universal palette.
Agree. For me, everything Lorac is a all the way rocket for me. Can you guess what the founder's name was? Carol, because Lorac is Carol spelled backwards or reverse. Yeah. You're welcome. Little known fact, but their unzipped palette is a classic, of all time. But again, if you look at this palette, it's got such a great color story. And that's what I look for, is like that gradation of color, so that whether I'm doing my own makeup or doing a client's makeup, that really have a lot, to work with in that space.
I'm still stuck at the Carol backwards. That if you watch me, my mind literally exploded, mind blown, completely crazy, like had no idea. But that brings us to number 5, which is the Pat McGrath Mothership 2 eyeshadow palette in Sublime. This is an all the way rocket for me. I love the colors. Green doesn't particularly look great on my eyes, but I will try to make it work. I will try to make her fly. And because it's Pat McGrath, I mean,
Pat McGrath is mother. Do you hear me? Like, she is the all the way original backstage fashion show makeup artist who's doing like shows like Dior and Chanel and all the things. She is the, do you hear me? THEE, just like the Fab Lab. She's the one. So for me, I don't care if I like it or not. It has her name on it. I'll take it. I'll take 5. Thanks.
Literal same. Well, we'd like to thank you for being with us here on the Fab Lab. It has been such a fun Saturday with you all, and we are so thankful that you fashionistas took time out of your day to join us here on the Fab Lab on the Mocha Media Network. We'd also like to take the time to thank our industry insider, Lisa Opie, for sharing her wisdom in the fashion and beauty industry. She is such a wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely. You guys know that we're all about fashion and the art of beauty here on the Fab Lab. And you guys know you find a sprinkle of fabulosity within our laboratory. So thanks, guys, for being a part of our family. And make sure you head over to Instagram and follow us so that we can stay connected.
Because we want you to look, feel, and stay fabulous, all while making life your runway here on the Fab Lab.
See you next week, fashionistas.